Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a developing story around one of world football's brightest young stars, Lamine Yamal, and a surprising turn of events in his relationship with the Spanish national team. Yamal, the teenage sensation from FC Barcelona, has been dealing with a groin-related setback, and as a result, his involvement with Spain's upcoming qualifiers has been completely disrupted. We're going to unpack what happened, how the club and the national federation responded, and what this whole situation could mean for Yamal, Barcelona, and Spain going forward. First, let's set the scene. Lamine Yamal is just 18 years old, but is already a crucial player for both Barcelona and the Spanish national team. He's widely considered a generational talent with a massive future ahead of him. However, this season he's been grappling with a recurring groin issue, sometimes referred to as pubalgia, which has caused him to miss matches. This isn't a brand new problem. Back in October, Barcelona themselves confirmed that the discomfort in his pubic area had reappeared after a match, and they estimated a recovery period of about 2 to 3 weeks. So, the injury itself isn't a shock. What is new, and what's causing a stir, is the tension that has suddenly erupted between his club and his country over how his treatment was handled. So here's what went down. On November 10, 2025, the very day the Spanish national team's training camp was set to begin, Yamal underwent an invasive radiofrequency medical procedure to treat his groin discomfort. Now, here's the crucial part. The Royal Spanish Football Federation, or the RFEF, says they were not informed about this procedure until late that night. Around 10:40 p.m., when they received a medical report. This was hours after Yamal was supposed to have reported for national team duty at 1:47 p.m. that same day. Because the recommended rest period after the specific procedure is about 7 to 10 days. The RFEF had no choice but to release Yamal from the squad ahead of their vital 2026 World Cup qualifying matches. Unsurprisingly, the federation wasn't happy. Their official statement expressed surprise and discomfort at the lack of communication and, more importantly, the timing of the treatment. Spain's head coach, Luis de la Fuente, even commented that it was a situation I had never experienced and that he didn't think it was very normal. From Barcelona's perspective, the priority is crystal clear: protect their star asset's health and ensure he makes a full recovery. But the very public breakdown in communication between the club and the federation has definitely raised a few eyebrows across the football world. So, what does this all mean? For Spain, they'll miss one of their most dynamic and exciting attacking options in these immediate qualifiers. Yamal's absence could force a change in their tactical setup and certainly affects the depth of their squad. For Barcelona, on one hand, they probably welcome the enforced rest for their young star, as it might prevent the injury from getting worse. On the other hand, the public nature of this disagreement and the friction it's caused with the RFEF could create some relational strain down the line. And what about Yamal himself? At just 18, managing his body and his workload is absolutely critical. This entire episode highlights just how delicate the balance is between club and country commitments, especially for a young player in the spotlight. If situations like this are handled poorly, the combination of overuse and miscommunication could seriously hamper his long-term development. This is a classic club versus country dilemma. Ideally, Barcelona and the Spanish Federation should be working together, as they have overlapping interests in Yamal's success. But when there's a perceived lack of communication, it can quickly escalate into a much bigger issue. The federation stressed that player safety is paramount, but they also made it clear they were frustrated at being kept out of the loop. To wrap up, there are a few things we should all keep an eye on. First, when will Yamal be fully fit and back on the pitch for Barcelona, and, eventually, for Spain? That 7 to 10-day rest is just the initial period. A full recovery could take longer. Second, Will this incident lead to any formal changes in the protocols between the RFEF and clubs regarding medical procedures and communication? Third, how will Spain perform without him? His absence is significant, and it'll be interesting to see if other players can step up. And finally, how will Barcelona manage his minutes and fitness load from now on? Given his talent, they'll want to protect him, but they also need him on the field. He remains a huge talent, but this whole saga shows that recurring injuries and off-field drama can affect a player's momentum. In summary, Lamine Yamal is still one of the most exciting players on the planet. But these recent events are a stark reminder that even the brightest talents face huge challenges with their health, their workload, and the classic club versus country balancing act. The immediate impact is his absence from Spain's qualifiers. But the bigger story is how all parties involved respond and cooperate from this point forward. Thanks for watching. We'll be tracking this situation closely, and we'll bring you any updates as they happen. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you next time.